If you were standing on these tracks just 200 years ago, you'd have seen a boat rather than a train heading towards you. Why? I'll reveal it all in just a moment. It's a love of the great outdoors drawing a retired couple towards the British countryside. Happily, our properties rate highly. Could you live here?
I'll wait till I've seen the rest of it. But at the moment, yeah, you're 90% there.
And for one, it could even be full marks.
John's getting emotional now.
Hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Oops.
Today I'm in Shropshire, and this is the Shropshire Canal at Coalport. Now, a couple of hundred years ago, engineers were posed a problem: how to transport goods from this section of the canal to the upper level, some 210 feet up the hill. Instead of building an extensive rise of locks, which of course would take hours to negotiate, they built the Hay Inclined Plane, the start of which you can just make out behind me. This was an ingenious system whereby tugboats would travel simultaneously up and down a set of rails, thus reducing the commute time to a matter of minutes. Now, of course, its useful life came to an end at the turn of the 20th century, but it's a powerful reminder of this county's industrial heritage. Landlocked Shropshire is one of England's largest counties, bordering Wales to the west and 4 English counties to the east. The gently rolling and expansive Shropshire Hills area of outstanding natural beauty covers around a quarter of the region. Burrowed in a valley of the hills is Clun, whose 15th century bridge arches over the river of this small town. The Norman Grade II listed St George's Church displays a squat tower reminiscent of so many border churches which played a vital role in defence during historic times of conflict. Nearby, the 13th century ruins of Clun Castle's keep also stand proud in the landscape. The tree-lined River Severn, the country's longest river at 220 miles, meanders through the county town of Shrewsbury. This was the birthplace of Charles Darwin, famous for his theory of evolution. The town is home to some of the finest examples of Tudor architecture in the country, featuring timbered facades and elaborate decorative windows. So, with its array of splendid natural scenery coupled with outstanding historic buildings, Shropshire is an ideal choice for a classic country escape. You'll be pleased to hear that Shropshire's rural property market offers great value for money. The average price of a detached house here comes in at around £288,000. That's almost £40,000 below the national figure. Now, that said, you will pay a premium for living around Ludlow, famed for its local markets, fine dining restaurants and a great events calendar. But if you push west towards the Welsh county of Powys, you'll find your budget stretches a lot further. So, that said, let's meet today's buyers and find out where they've set their sights on moving to. It was their work as civil servants that united retirees Jan and her husband Charlie over 4 decades ago.
We've been married now for 39 years, our 40th wedding anniversary in October this year. We first met because he worked in the same office, and Jan actually trained me on the job. I found it very easy to get on with her and to have a laugh with her. But I also found her very attractive. You know, we were sat beside each other for quite some time, weren't we, darling?
Yeah, we were.
Whilst I was training, and we just built a relationship.
He was fun, he was a bit silly, I think.
The couple have lived in their detached 4-bedroom home in Devizes in Wiltshire for the past 4.5 years. But after witnessing changes to the area, they've decided it's time to move on.
One of the things that's prompted our decision to move is the fact that we're no longer quite as close to the countryside as we were when we first moved in.
We're on a new housing estate that was built about 5 or 6 years ago, and there's also an industrial estate that's going to be built opposite the entrance to our estate. So that's going to sort of spoil things a bit round here.
This move will be the couple's 7th together, and it's not just new developments in the area which is giving them wanderlust.
I didn't want to move again.
Jan always saw this as our final move, but I think she does agree with me now that we've got quite a small garden compared to a very big garden that we moved from.
We used to come home from work, pour a glass of wine and wander around the garden of an evening, but then that could take half an hour. Whereas now you wander around the garden 2 minutes and it's done.
They've chosen rural Shropshire for their next and final move.
We wanted to live somewhere near some attractive countryside. We looked in Wiltshire where we live now, and what we found was that we couldn't afford the sort of property we're looking for. And every time we go to Shropshire, we see something different about it which really attracts us. Some lovely villages.
Fantastic countryside, and yeah.
And we thought, well, why not?
Jan and Charlie are active retirees and are looking forward to making the most of their free time when they move. Jan's keen on upholstery and curtain making, and Charlie's got plans to make the most of another of her talents.
Jan enjoys cooking very much, and I enjoy eating what she cooks. We both enjoy entertaining as well, so what excites me about moving to a new house in Shropshire is that we have a house that we can use to entertain our friends and family.
So, with an offer already accepted on their current property, the couple can't wait to find their new country home and embark on their new life.
What we found is that when we are here, we do get a little bit bored, don't we?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the big lifestyle change for us will be to lead a more active retirement and spend more time in Shropshire than we actually do in this house.
Jan and Charlie like rural areas around Shrewsbury, but are also happy to consider properties close to the Welsh border. So we've taken that into account with our search. Before we get started, we're catching up in an inspiring Shropshire woodland setting to discuss the finer details of their property wish list. Well, I reckon if you're after a bit of peace and quiet, you've probably picked the right county, haven't you?
I think so.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's beautiful.
You've lived around the country, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
But you don't know Shropshire particularly well.
No,
we don't.
Not at all.
You retired?
Yes.
What are you doing with your time?
Spent a lot of time in France.
Right, OK.
Got a place over there.
Now, what does this house look like?
It's going to have some character.
I'd love a range cooker.
You know, we like to socialise, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have friends and we have relatives that like to come and stay.
So this is a big kitchen then?
Big kitchen.
big
Not
kitchen.
separate dining or with a separate dining?
Not necessarily.
Yeah. And to get the space that we want to, sort of, for entertaining, for socialising, you've got to have at least 4 bedrooms.
At least 4?
Well, I wouldn't mind more, but 4.
Four is the minimum.
Yeah.
Let's try and nail down this outside space requirement.
We're really looking for somewhere that's got a little bit more outside space, but because we spend a bit of time in France, we don't want to have anything that is high maintenance.
Yeah. OK. Age of properties, do you want something old or something new?
I have always wanted a Georgian house.
OK.
Always, but, you know, that's what heart says. Head says, don't be silly.
Yeah.
But people that like Georgian properties, I can tell a lot about someone's taste. I know you like symmetry. I know you like bold, proud-looking buildings.
Yes.
I know you like large windows, tall ceilings, wide
Yes.
doorways.
Yes.
I know you like all of this.
Yes.
Yes.
So I can start thinking about that. It sounds like you're fairly social people. Do you want to live near other people in a village or in a town? Or
We definitely don't want to be totally isolated. We'd be happy in a village or on the sort of boundaries of a village, on the outskirts of a
on
village.
the edge of a village. How much are you looking to spend on this move of yours then?
Absolute max, £450,000.
Right, OK. Now, a good thing for you guys is you actually get a good chunk of property for your money in this part of the world. Should we get going?
Yes.
This way.
OK.
For their top budget of £450,000, Jan and Charlie are after a character property with a large kitchen perfect for socialising and ideally a range cooker. They'd like at least 4 bedrooms and a hobby room for Jan. Outside, they want a decent-sized but low-maintenance garden, and location-wise, they don't want to be too isolated. We've selected some thought-provoking properties for Jan and Charlie to view, and after they've toured each, I'll then reveal the price. The final visit to the Mystery House will certainly elevate their thinking and possibly deliver more than they could ever have imagined. We're starting off in the hamlet of Ellerton in the northeast of the county. Less than 2 miles away is the pretty village of Hinstock, with its own fishing lake and a host of amenities, such as a post office and shop and a food pub. There's a wheel cross monument built as a memorial after World War I. It's thought that the local quarry provided stone for the early 18th century St Oswald's Church. Back in Ellerton, we've arrived at this handsome barn conversion, which is attached on 2 sides.
Smashing.
Smashing!
It's good, isn't it?
It does. Yeah, very nice.
So how long ago was it converted?
This was converted back in 1987.
Right.
Now, this is a collection. This is, you know, one big farm, if you like,
Yeah.
converted into different dwellings. Like what you see so far?
Yeah?
We do.
Let's go inside. This early 19th century barn, built from sandstone and brick, is already stirring interest in Jan and Charlie. The front door leads us straight down a long hallway running the length of the property, with all of the rooms leading off it. Let's start off with the most important room, according to both of you.
What?
Oh,
Can I do
warm the bum.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Now, so,
No,
a range, the heart of the home.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you there is a separate dining room, okay?
Right, yeah.
So this is just for cooking and leaning on.
It is a little small.
Yeah, it is a little small. I like
I like the units.
I like the units.
They're
I
lovely.
like the high ceiling.
Yes, the beams.
But yeah, it feels a little small, but it does depend on the dining area.
The dining room is next door.
Right.
You've got a small utility area just around the side there.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be worth considering doing something clever here. I'm not talking about a 1960s service hatch,
No.
but just to have some kind of communication with the dining room. It might be something you'd consider.
Yes, yeah.
I've given them quite a bit to think about as we move through the dining area to an impressive sitting room which shows off the best of the barn with that high vaulted ceiling. Well, I think you'll like this room. I hope you will.
It does look nice.
It does. Like that. Like the beams.
Just look up there, they've got a nice little mezzanine office space there
All
as well.
right, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that is nice.
Like that.
Hobby room, maybe?
Yeah. Do my sewing up there.
You could.
Has it made you think any differently about the size of the kitchen? Now you know you've got a good reception room, you know you've got a decent sized dining room. What do you think about that kitchen now?
That kitchen is quite workable.
This intriguing barn conversion is laid out mainly on one level, with 3 of the 4 bedrooms on the ground floor. They're all doubles, with 2 of them sharing a family bathroom, complete with a freestanding bath. Then above a small dressing room is a super snug single on a mezzanine level. But I'm taking Jan and Charlie to the largest of the 4 downstairs. Righty-ho, I think this is the master bedroom because you are en suite. I know you're going to want to have a perk, so...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel this bedroom might be a little bit small.
OK.
It's probably the way it's set out, looking at where would you put a chair or something like that. But just by you, Johnny, there's plenty of space there by that window.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would work.
Now, you want more space outside as well as inside, don't you?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Looks good from here, doesn't it?
That looks very good.
Let me
Yep.
show you. The rear garden is laid to lawn, with various seating areas and a flagstone patio ideal for entertaining. There's also a lily pond surrounded by pretty borders and trees, along with a large greenhouse. Now, green-fingered Charlie, you tell me, my friend. How are we looking?
That would work for me. greenhouse is a super size.
Yeah, isn't it?
Really big greenhouse.
Good package, isn't it?
Very good package.
It is.
OK, guess the price. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Good man.
I'm going to say £410,000.
Right. Mark in the sand. Which way are you going?
Lower. £399,000.
Right. Well, you went the wrong way. This barn conversion is on the market for £425,000.
Right.
But, you know, that's not bad news, is it, this asking price?
No,
No,
that's
it
not bad.
isn't.
Fill your boots. Guess what? I'm going to be sat on that bench enjoying the sun. See you tomorrow.
That's it.
Priced £25,000 under the top budget, this 19th century barn conversion gives them a lot for their money, both inside and out. It's full of character and comes with a great sitting room, perfect for entertaining, and 4 bedrooms. There's a charming garden that's of a decent size but still manageable, and the home is situated in a rural hamlet with amenities just a short drive away.
I think the house is a lovely house. It's got the space that we need. Yeah, it would suit us pretty well.
I like it. It's got the character that we want. It's spacious. I think the kitchen's a tad on the small side, but it's workable.
Oh, it's dropping off then. It's
I'm not
lovely.
surprised. It's
Beautiful house.
really warm.
So, happy with everything inside the house as well?
Yes.
Good solid start, isn't it, Charlie?
It is a very good start.
Let's keep it that way. Come on.
OK.
Shropshire is known not only for its beautiful scenery, but also its traditional market towns, including Ludlow, famous as the county's gastronomic capital. We've arranged for our culinary-minded couple to visit the Ludlow Food Centre to learn about some of the local edible delights available here. The centre forms part of the Earl of Plymouth's 8,000-acre Shropshire estate, which produces much of the meat, dairy produce and vegetables used and sold here. Paul Hill is the general manager.
What kind of things are we expected to find in here today?
Today you'll find products that are predominantly made on site, so 50% of what we sell is actually made on site. So 80% of what you're seeing here is actually from the surrounding shires from Shropshire. You're going to see some interesting products here today, one of which is the fidget pie, which is specific to Shropshire, and also a recipe for Shropshire cheese, which is about 200 years old.
Right.
It was in 1995 that a group of locals decided to hold the first Ludlow Marches Food and Drink Festival to showcase the region's gourmet produce. The food centre is one of the main exhibitors at the festival, championing its goods, including cheese. Dudley Martin is the dairy manager here.
What kind of cheeses do you make here? Are they just hard cheeses or do you make soft?
So we have a large variety of cheeses made from our own cow's milk, from young, fresh cow's cheeses, all the way up to an 18-month matured cheddar.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's creamy.
That's very nice.
So, do you make the same cheeses all the time, or are you developing any new recipes?
We love to experiment. As it happens, we are working on a new cheese at the moment. When I say new, it's
Yeah.
also an old cheese. It's a recipe that we found through some historical research. It vanished about 100 years ago, and we thought it'd be fun to look at trying to recreate it.
The variety is called Shropshire cheese and is made using the 200-year-old recipe. It's maturing in store and will be for another 6 months. But Dudley has some fresh off the press, weighing in at over £45.
So there it is.
Thank you.
And this was the size that the cheeses would have been made. The bigger the cheese, the better it would age. So these will go into store in the next day or two, and will be ready, we hope, this time next year.
10 tonnes of cheese are produced by Dudley and his team every year, and some of the cheddar ends up in the centre's Shropshire fidget pies. And it's the butchery that provides the meat from the estate's own livestock. The pies are made with gammon or bacon cooked in cider, with apples and topped with mash and cheese. In the kitchen, Damien McNamara, the kitchen manager, is working on some of the 6,000 pies made here every year. A perfect opportunity for Chief Cook Jan to pick up some tips and for the pair to have a go themselves.
So we take some of our gammon and then with some diced Bramley apples. Then we mix that with some fresh sage. So then we just give that a mix together like so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, Damien adds cheddar to the short crust pastry pies and tops with the gammon mixture. And then mustard mash is piped on top.
Squeeze. And that's it. Okay.
Looks very nice, yeah.
Easy peasy. Who's up first? Yep. Yeah, that's it. And then bring it out to the edge. Perfect. That's it. Keep going, yeah. Very nice.
I haven't done piping since I left school. And that was only on a Christmas cake. Whee!
Then, after 25 minutes in the oven, it's time to taste them.
Enjoy. Bon appetit. See what you think. Good. That's what we like to hear.
Damien, that was absolutely fantastic. Thanks ever so much for showing us how to make it. And I think that's something we'll be coming back here for this when we move up here.
Well, I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's the second day of our property hunt in the Shropshire countryside, with enthusiastic couple Jan and Charlie from Devizes in Wiltshire. They've got a budget of £450,000 to furnish themselves with a character home and a pretty but low-maintenance garden. Still to come, expectations will be raised when they see the mystery house.
Checkbook Charlie Charles?
Checkbook Charlie.
Yes.
Really?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be trying my hand at a very skilled craft from the past.
It's not bad.
It's not
It's
great,
not
is it?
bad.
Well, I think it's fair to say we've now done barn conversions, but for Jan and Charlie, there are still surprises ahead today. Now, first of all, we're going to start off with a more conventional property for them to have a look at. Still an interesting proposition. And then we head to the mystery house. Keeping character and tradition at the forefront of our minds, we're hopping just over Shropshire's border with Wales and to the small village of Pennybont. The picturesque Avon Tanat, or River Tanat, winds its way close to the village, which is surrounded by gorgeous countryside. There's a pub here serving the small number of residents. Outside the village, at the end of a long drive, is this traditional property that has real stature.
That looks good.
Yeah?
I think it's fantastic.
Do you?
I do. It's a superb location.
Yes, it is.
We've got some neighbours, but it's actually on its own.
And you've got 3 dwellings here.
Yeah.
But you've got plenty of room to park your cars. Because this is all yours.
All right, and that...
Yep. That's a potting shed,
Yeah.
slightly upgraded. Right then, let's talk about the house itself.
Yeah,
Obviously, a conversion of sorts.
yeah,
It was first converted back in 1991.
right.
You like it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Looks lovely. I like the stone.
Good. Shall we go inside?
Yep,
Yes.
please.
Come with me.
Yep.
This stone-built character home was completely refurbished 7 years ago and offers a perfect blend of old meets new. We're entering at the back of the house through a utility room and into the country kitchen diner. OK.
This is better.
Yes, good size.
Much better kitchen.
Lots of work surface on the island.
Yeah,
You've got a little office just through there.
right.
But this is
Lovely.
positive, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Living room next.
yeah.
Come on, you've got 2 doors. I'll go through this one.
Okay.
Right.
Next door, the well-proportioned living room has a dual-fuel burner and the added bonus of a beautifully bright garden room leading off from it.
This is good size.
Well, I know you like your big old
Yes.
bits of character and features, and you've got that here, but you're looking at quality everywhere. That beautiful oak-framed extension.
Yes. It's an entertaining area
Yeah.
for when we're using the garden.
Yeah.
Perfect. Could you live here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to live here?
I'll wait and see till I've seen the rest of it. But at the moment,
Yeah?
yeah, you're 90% there.
Excellent. Bedrooms next. Come
Okay.
with me.
Right.
The footprint of the first floor mirrors the downstairs. There's a family bathroom with a corner bath serving 3 of the 4 bedrooms. They're all doubles located at the back of the house, giving them plenty of space for guests, with the 4th and largest at the front with its own ensuite. Now the master does have a view over those hills from the bed.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Big, isn't it?
It is big, that's huge. Yeah.
90% there downstairs in the living room. I want to push you on this, Jan. How are you feeling now?
95.
Good. Once you see outside, it could be the final piece of the jigsaw. So come with me.
Okay.
The pretty garden is split level and surrounded by mature trees and breathtaking views. Right then, outside space. Nice little garden here.
That's right.
Do you like what you see?
Yes.
Yes, very much.
Time to guess the price.
I think it's £395,000.
Okay.
I think it's going to be over 400.
Yeah?
I would say 415,000 pounds.
Okay. Good, Jan. But the asking price for this wins the strangest asking price of the year award.
Right.
This house is for sale for £384,990.
That's good.
That's a good guess.
Well, now you've got a great opportunity to have a look around this property on your own. Go back inside, refresh yourself of what you've seen, but also have a good look around the outside space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll see you in a mo.
All right,
So,
thank you.
thank you.
Enjoy. This character stone property is precisely £65,010 under their budget. It comes with a great country kitchen plus diner, and there's the additional benefit of a bright garden room adjoining the living room. There are 4 bedrooms, and the well-maintained garden has spectacular views.
The house is very nice. The extension is really well done, and it's going to be a really good room for entertaining. So, all in all, I think this is a good contender.
I really, really like it. Although it is slightly remote, there are neighbours, and it's good to have neighbours because we do spend a fair time abroad, and it would be good to know that there's somebody here who could just keep an eye on it for us while we were away.
All done inside and out?
Yes.
Yep.
Have you worked out how you're going to fill that warehouse out the back yet?
Not quite, but I might buy a glider.
Let's talk about that in the car.
Yeah.
For our final stop to the Mystery House, we're travelling to the hamlet of Suckton, close to the Welsh border. A 10-minute drive away is the small village of Trefonen, meaning village of the ash trees. There's a choice of pubs here, with a brewery next to one serving Offers Brew, named after the nearby 8th century earthwork Offers Dyke. There's also a small selection of amenities providing locals with essentials. Just under 3 miles away, back in Suckton, is our last property, right up on high. Now then, our mystery house is this rather splendid-looking property.
Set in a good position. I like the fact that it's high up.
Yeah.
What makes this the mystery house? Well, it's gorgeous position,
Yep.
character inside, loads of space.
Yep.
The location is pretty rural, though, isn't it?
Yes.
How are you feeling? In or out of your comfort zone?
We've still got neighbours.
This is within our comfort zone.
Now, listen, before we go inside,
Yeah.
I don't think you need to use your imagination, but you need to look at this as your next project. It's perfectly fine to live in as is, but I know you'll want to make improvements. And I think the owners have done just the right thing of staving off these improvement works
Yeah.
Yes.
for the new owners to come and do what they want.
Yeah.
Ready to go inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
Real.
Built in 1929, our mystery property is the most modern of our lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how our self-confessed admirers of character properties will react to it. We're heading inside, where we're starting our tour in the kitchen.
This works. This is good,
It is, isn't it?
especially with that.
Yes. And the other side of that is a snug with amazing views
Yeah.
and a lovely fireplace.
Oh, wonderful.
You've got a separate dining room as well, purely for entertaining. But here, this is your breakfast kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah, this is good.
We're laughing, aren't we? We're happy. I mean, look.
Oh, happy, very happy.
Now,
Yeah.
I know you're excited to look around. Come with me, let's see some more.
Yeah.
The rooms on the ground floor all fan off from a central hallway, where, as well as the kitchen, there are 3 bedrooms and a bathroom with 3 reception rooms. We're going to the other end of the house, to the largest of the receptions. Now, this is one big reception. Look at the size of this place.
This is huge.
Yeah, it is.
This is lovely. Fabulous. Could be checkbook time, Charles.
Checkbook Charlie.
Yes.
Really?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Jan's getting emotional now.
Hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Oops.
Now, this bodes well or very badly.
I'm liking this house very much.
What brings out that kind of emotion then?
Our house in Harrogate, and we were there for 20 years, and it was... I cried when we left.
Right.
Didn't want to leave.
Oh, Charlie, you're starting now. Come on, you're going to turn the taps on with me in a moment.
Yeah. I know how she feels. And I do feel the same, I must admit.
We've only looked at 2 rooms.
I know.
Should
We've
have
got more to see.
I know. But this is the house.
Right, well, I'll stop by on the toilet and get some more tissues. Let's go upstairs.
I got a pocket full. I came prepared.
Well, these are powerful, positive reactions. So let's press on and explore the rest on offer here. The 3 bedrooms on this floor are all doubles and would provide Jan and Charlie with a raft of options. They could keep them as bedrooms or convert them into their study and sewing room. There's also a spacious family bathroom. Upstairs, there are a further 3 bedrooms in the eaves. There's a neat single, a bright double with doors to a walk-in wardrobe, and the largest is the master. Another really nice room up here.
Oh, this is smashing. Yeah.
It's a good size.
And an ensuite, by the looks
Ensuite.
of it.
Does it meet your approval?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Let's go outside to the garden.
Well,
OK.
Let's see if those tears will turn into sad ones with the prize. The elevated and slightly remote location of our mystery house really sets off the beautiful landscaped gardens and, as we've seen, provides the most incredible views. Come on, look at that. Drink it in.
this is fabulous.
Look at the view.
The mature garden sweeps from the front to the side of the house, and the lawn is surrounded by pretty terraced flower beds, trees, a patio, and gravelled pathways with vistas galore from every vantage point. There are a number of small outbuildings, plus a garden studio. Looks big again from down here, doesn't it?
It does.
There's been tears inside the house.
Yes.
There's been smiles and grins all over the place. So let's guess the price straight away.
£435,000.
I'm hoping that it would be slightly less. I would say £425,000.
Well, you are a bit out. The asking price for this place is £395,000. Which
Well-
means, looking at your budget, you can make some changes and upgrades.
Yeah.
So you said to me, you cried when you left Harrogate, didn't you?
Yeah.
So could this be that house again?
Yeah.
Good. Well, look, go back inside, have a good look at this place. This is your opportunity to spend time in this house on your own.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's right.
See you in a moment. Good luck.
OK.
I'll be on the hammock.
OK.
This enchanting mystery property dating back to the late 1920s is priced at £55,000 under their budget. It has a large kitchen with a range and a dining room with space for a huge table. There's a total of 3 reception rooms and 6 bedrooms, which they seem happy to reconfigure. What's more, the remote setting didn't bother them, as the trade-off would be those great panoramic views.
I love it. That's it. It's just what we wanted. And I'm going to get going in a minute again.
It's a substantial house, lovely high ceilings, plenty of character, in a lovely situation. So yeah, it definitely ticks all the boxes. Last of which, and not least, is it provides me with a very happy wife, because she thinks the same way.
Well then, that is it. No more houses. I don't think you could take any more, could you?
No.
No. Good. Well, I think we finished on a high, certainly.
Yeah,
Let's take you somewhere to have a bit of a think and a chinwag. After
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you.
On the banks of the River Severn is the Coalport China Museum, one of 10 Ironbridge Gorge museums which tell the story of the World Heritage Site and its impact on the Industrial Revolution. This museum brings to life the history and traditional techniques of the once famous Coalport China factory, which closed its doors in 1926, and it's located in the old factory itself. I've come to meet Kate Cadman, the museum's curator in the old bottle kiln. How long was China produced here?
The Coalport work started here in 1796.
Most people think of China and pottery. They think of the potteries in around Staffordshire, Stoke-on-Trent, really.
Yep.
So why here? Did it start
Why here? There's a lot of ceramics being made in this area. There was local clay, there was local coal, and that's important. There was also local transport systems. So you had the River Severn,
Yeah.
you could bring in materials you hadn't got and you could take out a finished product, and you had a local network of canals to supply coal.
It was the coal that fired up the kiln, reaching temperatures of over 1200 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt iron. But here, it fired all the delicate china. How often would you fire up this kiln?
Well, it took 2 days just to load it, 3 days to get it to temperature, 2 more days to cool down. And that's why they usually had 2 kilns doing the same process.
Yeah.
While one's loading, one's unloading.
This huge kiln, nearly 80 feet high, was where just one part of the lengthy and skilled process occurred. In the 1850s, at the height of production, between 400 and 500 people worked here, producing hundreds of thousands of pieces a year. Many of the intricate items are on display in the museum itself. They're absolutely beautiful, and Kate's brought me to see a collection called Coalbrookdale ware, which is encrusted with delicate handmade flowers crafted over 180 years ago. How long would it take someone to put the decorative bits of clay on that?
Each flower is so shaped by hand, and one flower will take anything from a minute upwards.
A minute?
There are flowers that could take up to 20 minutes to make.
Is that all?
Yeah, but that's 20 minutes plus 10 years experience.
Here in the museum, visitors can see how these beautiful and delicate flowers the factory was known for are made. Now, I've got absolutely no experience, but I'm going to have a go anyway.
We have here our flower making clay, which is bone china clay with a little gum arabic added. So you can feel how incredibly soft it is.
Really soft.
We're going to make the centre of a rose. So what you're going to do is just very gently press the end of it to flatten it a little. That side there, just give a little bit of a curl over, just a little bit. And just wrap that all the way over, enclosing your centre, but you're doing it at a diagonal so that you end up with a shape that's like a cone. OK?
Having shaped the central bud, it's time to craft the petals.
That's OK. Break it off, put it by the other one. Now you're just going to make 2 more like that.
I'm seeing already this is really labour intensive.
It's incredibly labour intensive. And when I learnt this process in 1986, the going rate was 48 pence a dozen.
I'd be going hungry tonight, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Well, after a lot of hard work and concentration on my part, and under Kate's expert tuition, I've just about managed to make one flower. This might just be creative insight for me, but it must have been a gruelling job for the skilled flower makers in the factory.
It's not bad.
It's not
It's
great,
not
is it?
bad.
That will go into a rack like this. It will sit in that rack to dry for a few days.
After the flowers are fired, they become part of a finished piece before being hand-painted to produce this elegant work.
Can we have another go at this whilst I'm here?
Go on. You're going to improve, I'm sure you are. The
I
more
feel
you
like
do
I
it.
feel like I could get better, but 500 a day. I'd lucky to turn out 500 a month, I think.
Well, I think it's a really strong mix of properties to consider. But let's face it, only one of the houses has reduced our buyers to tears. Let's find out what they're planning to do next. Well. That was an emotional roller coaster, wasn't it? But good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You found your favourite corner, which is great. That narrows the search down in itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
But the properties, that's less easy unless one really stands head and shoulders above the other.
Yeah.
And I think the Mystery House did, didn't it?
It did.
Most definitely. It really did have that wow factor.
Yeah.
You know, I can sit out on the terrace with a glass of something.
Yeah.
But just thinking about it now, look,
Yeah, I know.
it's bringing
It's-
emotions up again, isn't it?
Yeah. Stupid girl.
No, not at all. It's very difficult to find houses like this because,
Yeah.
it sounds like a cliche, you found a home.
Yeah.
So, but what's the next step?
We've spoken to the house owner, haven't we? And he's told us we can come back for a second viewing tomorrow morning.
Brilliant. That's music to my ears. I really hope it goes well tomorrow for you both.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, right.
Touch wood.
Whatever you decide to do, please let us know, won't you?
We will do.
We will.
And if you buy it, I'll come back and hopefully sample some of your cakes I've been hearing about you baking. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
the
you.
best.
And thank you very much.
It's fun, isn't it? If I cast my mind back, I can distinctly remember hearing Jan and Charlie saying that they wanted a house in the centre of a village, or at the very most, on the edge of one. But the nearest village to the mystery property was some 3 miles away, and I certainly don't think they'd have even considered that as an option, left to their own devices. But once they got to the property, had a look around and saw just 2 or 3 houses dotted around nearby, they realised that they weren't isolated at all. They were just in a more rural location. And from our point of view, well, the gamble clearly paid off. So, fingers crossed, their viewing goes according to plan tomorrow morning, and maybe we could have found 2 new residents for this beautiful part of the world. See you next time. Jan and Charlie did revisit the Mystery House, put in an offer, and I'm very happy to report it was accepted. So it shouldn't be long before they're living their Shropshire dream, and we wish them all the very best. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Northern Ireland or Scotland and need our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.